Good evening. It's soon 11 p.m. I've opened my flight radar, so we could look New York City like half an hour. Not too long time because I had record video my whole day. Need another cola. So like this discount cola. Don't need the Coca-Cola, but I like the Coca-Cola Zero. But it's cost a lot more and I drink a lot of cola every day. So I'll just continue reading about New York City the next many days. Charging my cell phone. But I need to put my cola. We can put it inside here or drink it. But I need a minute. I not put my cola close to my computer because I have drop the glass many 20 times. When I'm tired I do something like this with my hand. So I never put any water or cola close to any computers. I'm not swallow so well anymore, so I need some time. I need a little time to swallow my cola. So that's people all over the world living in New York City. So I will just be another one. I will just be an old white dude from Scandinavia. What is 10:30? So it's not look so big, but it's really big. There's, you know, how many people, like, 40 million are living here. I think that's Philadelphia is actually very close. So if you're living like here, you not have a short distance to Philadelphia and New York. No, got a city down here. I don't know what the name it is. Lakewood City. I don't know the name of the city, but it's called Lakewood. Ocean County Park. I don't know the name of the city, but you can get very fast to New York from here, I think. Oh, they built same way like in Florida. They have this channel, water channel, but it's kind of hard property where it costs more than $1 million. This kind of houses cost a lot more than $1 million. They built it the same way in Florida. If you like this boating lifestyle, you can have your private powerboats. You can actually sail all the way up to the Great Lakes, up the Hudson River to Albany. And then should be a channel from Albany, the Eyre channel, up to Buffalo. So let's look, a very nice place, and they don't have any alligators. Oh, that's just to the Atlantic Ocean. So they will keep getting a lot of big waves. You cannot have a boat here, because this is out to the Atlantic Ocean, I think. No, that's inside the water, you can do that. But that's probably super expensive. This place are super expensive. You're not renting anything $1,000. You cannot renting a room $1,000 month, but maybe you can renting a boat by few $100 every month. If they have a harbor like this, you could maybe renting a boat slip, few $100 months. And then you could buy an old sailboat. Then you could living there, but of course you need access to restroom. But probably that's a boat club. But I think maybe some places you need to buy. You cannot renting, you need to buy your boat slip. You need to pay like many thousands of dollars. You need to buy your boats, where to park your boats. This area is not cheap at all. This is not that cheap. This is very expensive area. But you never know, maybe you could have a boat, $100 months, place like this. That small sailboat, small day cruisers. But this boat, they're very small. But this one is like 20 feet. They are very small boat, but you can sleep in a small 18 or 20 feet boat, have a small cabin. You can do that, depend how the boat is. That's much better to sleeping in a tiny boat, 18, 20 feet, than living in a tent. So you can easily do that. You can living in a tiny boat with a outboard engine. But this area is probably super expensive. looks like super expensive. That's $1 million. That's houses cost a lot more than 1 million, I think. This kind of houses cost a lot of money. And I have about $2,000 after my tax. $2,100. So I need to renting something $1,000. But you can renting a boat pipe in a harbor, but it needs to be a kind of old style harbor like this. This is probably a much cheaper harbor. No, not need to be, that's a modern, that's not a cheap harbor, but it needs to be a large old harbor. But this is close to New York and Philadelphia. So this is where people like the boating life. They like the boating lifestyle, like in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, they have houses like this. A harbor like this is maybe a little bit cheaper. You could renting a boat hire maybe $100 a month, or $100 or $200 a month. I could afford that. But it's kind of powerboat that cost a lot of money, but you can get like old sailboats. Well, this is a powerboat harbor, but you can get old sailboats, few $1,000s, small sailboats. So this is a kind of cheaper harbor, but they are powerboats. Everything here it's powerboats. And do not get a powerboat cheap because they have this big engine. But you can sleep in this small powerboat. They have a small cabin in front of the boats, like this kind of boats. They have a cabin and bathroom, like this Sea Ray boats. So this is a sailboat like this one. That's a small sailboat. And this is a sailboat. You can see the shape of the hull. But all this is powerboats except this one, and this one is a sailboat. But you can have this catamarans, Polynesian catamarans, with 2 hulls, but they cost a lot of money. Harbor, because you're paying how wide. Normally you pay how wide your boat is. And this catamarans, no, that's very expensive houses. But so they can go boating all the way up to the Great Lakes. But let's zoom out because I cannot see anything. How you get from here to the New York Harbor. Do you need to get out the Atlantic Ocean? I think you need to do that. But let's zoom out a bit. So how do you get from here to the New York City? By boats. But let's zoom out, we need to zoom in again. Now I think you need to sail up here. But you have this big bay. No, you need to get out the Atlantic Ocean. If you go into sail, I think you cannot. But you got a water channel like here. But you have a river here. So maybe this river you can get up. No, this river ends there. So that you need to get out here. Then you need to sail north. Lakewood. Mantoloking. Adamston. Silverton, so you don't need sorry. But maybe you have a train. But you have this large bay. No, you can maybe you can renting a room $1,000. I don't need an apartment. I just need a room, like a motel room. I don't need a real apartment. But maybe I think that's cheaper. Maybe you can renting a motel room like 1 week, $300. Like $50 every day, $300 week. That's 1,200. Maybe you can get $1,000 month a motel room. But you need a car, driver license and a car, and then you need to drive around and find a. Oh, that's Staten Island. That's Staten Island. If you're living down there, then you're close to both New York and New Jersey and Philadelphia. This Interstate 95 goes to Philadelphia, I think. Delaware River, that's Philadelphia. Delaware River, where do this go? Is this river connected to the New York Harbor? But maybe you need a special, like river boats, like in Germany, in Europe, Germany, France. You need a special river boat license. You cannot just buy a powerboat and then sailing the rivers in Germany and France, I think. You need that kind of riverboat license. You need to know how to navigate on big rivers. Of course, they use the rivers, big ships. They use the rivers to transport big ships like Hudson River. So that's Delaware River. Delaware River. So let's look this. Delaware River is a major river, United States longest free flowing, is undamaged. For Pennsylvania, Delaware Bay. Delaware Bay. Okay, Philadelphia. Delaware, just go north, it's not go to. So there's no dams this river. But we can look at this. Read this another thing. No, so it's not connected. This river is not connected to New York North. So this river goes down to a big bay down here. But you have many rivers. You can living on a river like this, but I think that's very cold and snow in the winter. But in the summertime you can living on a small sailboat or powerboat. Then in the winter time you need to living in a motel room. You could renting a motel room like $1,000 a month, maybe somewhere. Cheap motel room, and then in the spring to autumn you could living on a river or lake in a boat. Atlantic City. But maybe you could like in the Florida, maybe you can sail all the way from here. You can sail inside here all the way up from but I was supposed to look New York City. You can maybe sail the whole way up north. You don't need to sail on the Atlantic Ocean. Like in Miami, you can sail like inside there, then you can sail many hundreds of miles. Like in Florida, you can do the same all the way up to Cape Canaveral. From Miami, you can just sail inside here. Hundreds of kilometers, but not everywhere it's connected. Probably this is connected, you can sail here. Ocean City. But I need to zoom out because it's very supposed. You need to look the New York City bit, but you can sail. Maybe not. It's not everything connected, but you can sail inside here in a boat, not going too deep. Atlantic City. And there's no alligators. Look at that, they built it like this, like in Florida. So that's super clever. They all have private boat piers. So that's super clever. You can have here, but I don't have boats. Because maybe this is in the winter, but no, but there's no boats. Oh, got a boat there. But that depends when they take the photos. I think all this water is connected. This water is connected out here. You can go like that. Here you have a powerboat. You can see powerboat on satellite photo like this. You can see, let's make this white water so you can see this. It's a fast powerboat. You can find it on satellite photos like this. Like there. That's another powerboat. Fast powerboat you can see on satellite photos like this. But where are we? Where are we? So they're inside this bay. So maybe you can say all the way up here. So that's the place we can do that. That's meant this area we was looking before. I think you can do that. So actually that's close to New York. This area here you can sail, but you can need to get out. If you go to the New York harbor, you need to get out here, Atlantic, and up here. And you don't have to cross there, you can just follow the shoreline. No, if you don't like to sail across here, I don't know how far it is. If you don't like to sail across here, you can just sail inside here a little bit. Follow the shore. Maybe you can get inside here. You can get inside here somewhere.